so that the motion is clear, because I think this might assist at least one, if not two, board members up here. The first revenues that come available, whether it's through the privatization of the solid waste transfer sites or other reductions, would be put back into the solid waste fund to offset that transfer. Is that correct, Supervisor Pinches?
I would agree to that.
I thought that's what you had stated,
Yeah.
so I want to make sure that's clear, because I think that goes a long way to addressing some of the concerns.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, is there any other questions on the motion?
Yes. Does it include the outside request?
It
Are they
does.
covered by this motion?
The outside requests are in this
Part of the balanced budget.
It does.
strategy, yeah.
Any other questions on the motion?
You want me to list those outside requests for the
No,
record?
fine.
Okay.
No.
CEO, did you have something on the motion, or can I go ahead and call the question? Those in favor of the motions, state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
Motion fails 2-3.
Let's call the 5:30 rule. Let's go.
Excuse me. According,
No,
Yeah.
Well, but you have to close the public hearing. I mean, your budget hearing is over.
Close the
Okay,
public hearing,
you
all
did,
right.
all right.
no, I closed
Where's the
public
meeting?
comment. I did not close public hearing. So the public hearing is still open. We're still debating the budget. So,
am I allowed to ask for some clarification here?
sure. As chairman, I'll grant you that.
Okay,
If
maybe
I'm
nobody else
wrong,
will.
I'll be the one in jail.
It's my understanding that we had hoped to come out of this with direction, because we can't bring and adopt a final budget for you to adopt next Tuesday, which is intended to be not another continuation of this public hearing or anything else. It's intended to adopt a final budget that we put together based on the direction we get from you today. That decision needs to be made next Tuesday, or the deadline in the county policy is, I believe, September 18th. So
Right.
this was, September 16th is the last day that the final budget can be adopted. I don't know that one can't set aside that deadline, but we also get into the issue of the preparation of the final budget document and the necessity on a legal basis to file it on time. So, I don't know what all the legalities are, but to me, as I understand it, we would be hard pressed to leave this room without having final budget direction.
Well, I'll rescind the 5:30 rule if it's going to be, if we're going to progress on this. I'll stay here till midnight or 4 in the morning. I don't care, but how can we move forward? If we don't move forward with the proposal that's before us, how are we going to move forward? Because in order to talk about any of that stuff, it's going to take a lot of analysis from the CEO and staff to do that.
Well,
So how are we going to, I don't see where we can do it.
yeah. What I see is people putting out kind of package deals, and that package deal not appealing to a majority of the board members, because you've got 3 motions so far. I don't know if it would be any more successful, so I'll just kind of throw out the idea of going through each issue. If it's, at this point, if it would be a recommendation of increased spending, then the proposal also has to have increased revenue offset. So, and you just go through item by item and see what you end up getting. But that's an option, a process option. I don't know that it will be any more successful than the package deals that have been proposed.
Well, that is certainly one option. Supervisor Colfax.
Well, don't we just kick into the 4/5 rule?
I mean, I mean, we can't get, all we'd have to do is get one, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference whether we go down 3-2 or go down 3-2 again. So what is the complication here that doesn't allow us just to proceed to,
Well, I guess we.
with this particular meeting? The hearing's over.
Today's the last day that you can hold your hearing. You extended it to 14 days, and this is the last day for that. So
And
what
we do it.
happens after today is that you go into adoption of the final budget, but if you make any changes from the numbers that you've got now, it's a 4/5 vote on each change.
Well, and if I could just, as far as I know, what we have based on the previous actions would be that minus 28,000 with the adjustments that were, although they haven't been voted on, I assume we have to make the adjustments of the revenues and the fund balance. And I believe that would probably put us in a minus 100,000. I can't do that on the top of my head, but that's what we would be left with at this point, because to me, it would take affirmative action from the board